Hi, it's Leslie Meredith with Breakbulk Events and Media. I have one of our panelists from the Game Changers session, and Dharmendra is here from Larsen, Toubro, Hydrocarbon Engineering. That is a mouthful. Who represented the EPC perspective on this Game Changers session. So, what is it? What did you want the audience to understand from your perspective?
Well, the topic was the game changer from the perspective that whether EPC or the cargo owners are going directly with the carriers. Is this the trend? And my take on that, which is my experience as well, is no, it is not, because it is an experiment. It's not the trend. Because there are so many activities involved in a project supply chain which cannot be done by the carrier, be it airline or shipping line or vessel operator. There are a lot of onshore activities, custom clearance, transportation, and the loading, etc. And then documentations are there involved. There are many multi-countries, cross-border activities are there. So I think it's the freight forwarder who is going to do a better job. And very important one, when we deal with the freight forwarder, I always maintain that we get to have the options. There's always a plan A, B or C. But when you're dealing directly with the carrier, if the carrier's option fail for some reason, coronavirus is a great example, where if you dealt with the one carrier, that option has failed, actually you have failed completely. You don't have anything to fall back. But with the freight forwarder in between, there's a freight forwarder who can then try and work around with a lot of options that helps the EPC company. Because as an EPC, what do we want? We want cargo to be moved from A to B in the best possible manner. We don't mind paying a little bit more for the difficult situations. So that was my take on that nothing to worry. Forwarder are here to stay.
Well, that is a very reassuring message to all of the forwarders that are here at Breakbulk Middle East. That is great. So tell me, when you are looking for a project forwarder for one of your big oil and gas projects, what are you looking for? What do you want to see?
Well, we look at them, their capabilities and knowledge base. Because what happens, we have seen in past as well, when a project forwarding company's business head or the key person moves out for some maybe professional growth, the entire team in few days moves out also. And that's where there is always a knowledge gap. Because the forwarders, systems, processes or internal team management should be in such a way that even if a person moves out, knowledge stays back for there is always a succession planning. So this is when we do some sort of assessment, we look at the width and depth of the organization. We have our own ways to look at by way of due diligence, compliance, etc. with their past projects, and then the kind of variety of the clients they have, because the variety of clients and the size and type of the clients help us understand the capability of the forwarder. So we look at that.
Interesting. All right. This is certainly not your first Breakbulk. We met in Houston. Tell me, and you're a part of our master's program. Is this something that you find valuable?
Yeah, very interesting. In fact, because of the master's program, I could meet so many my fraternity people, the freight forwarding community, and all put together who want to interact with you, understand certain challenges there. I could put forward my perspective on what an EPC guy, because from the panel discussion there can be only one topic covered, but then there are so many things to talk about when you are discussing with the master's launch, So this was really, really very useful. In fact, very good thing.
That's good to hear. And then I wanted to ask you, how important is face-to-face? Meeting face-to-face rather than, emails, other forms of video conferencing. Is face-to-face still relevant in today's business world?
I would say very much. Because the project logistics or project supply chain is relationship based. no matter what digitalization we do, there has to be some sort of a face to it with whom you can deal, because in project supply chain we meet uncertainties most of the time. In a regular manufacturing or a production setup, challenges are very predictable. But in project supply chain, it's always uncertainties can come from any corner. And at that time, you don't want to talk to a system. You don't want to talk to a digital mode. You want to have somebody, I can pick a phone and say, hey, Robert, I just need your help. I need this cargo from Germany to be moving out to India as fast as possible. And Robert, if he had met me before, will be able to relate much better. And say, hey, let me work out. I know I'm talking to a human. So when you feel that there is a human touch there on the side, things can get done. Because you've been able to sensitize. Sensitivity cannot be passed on the digital platform. It can be passed on with a human touch.
I love that. That's so good to hear. So thank you so much for sharing all of this with us.
Thank you.